What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Crypto Tips. My name is Toby.
My name is Heidi.
And
this is AMA episode 64 of our AMA series. So Thank you, everyone, for our Patreon members and the CT Club who have sent us all these questions.
Yep. If you want to check us out on CT Club, you get portfolio updates within 5 minutes of my trades. It's a lot of fun educational stuff, classes, you name it.
A lot of people too.
Tons of people, huge Discord, and really cool community. We love y'all.
Yeah, so go to patreon.com/cryptotips and check it out.
Cool.
Here's the question for today. How many assets in a portfolio are too many? Should you separate some assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, DOT as long-term holds or to stake, and maybe have some to flip quickly, such as AXIE Infinity or Audio? Thanks.
Well, here's one of my downsides that I haven't told too many people. Is because I
sharing is caring.
Yeah. Well, Heidi and I have had about 85 coins at one time, and this was back in the beginning of the bull run, back in March 2020.
Yeah.
When it hit just the flat bottom, I was going crazy buying.
Yeah.
We were telling people, we are buying, don't sell, please don't sell, especially when Bitcoin was at like $3,500.
Yeah.
And so those are the kind of times that we will accumulate those coins. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I mean, the number one concern should be, how much can you handle to manage? Are you gonna? There's a lot of coins for you to be, especially. Well, I'm gonna say this first of all, is that you have to separate between day trading, swing trading, and your long-term investments. The long-term investments is easy. You just tuck those away and you don't care what the price is doing. You're not trying to time the market at all to buy or sell. Maybe you're just dollar cost averaging. So you can just knock those out of your kind of peripheral for now. But coins like Cardano, Solana, Polkadot, even those are much more likely to have extreme dips. Where you could maybe pay attention to buy more there and to see really good profits as well, so you can skim the top off of those, because we don't know what these coins are going to do. We don't know how they're going to react to the bear market, and you want to be able to take profits when the times are good to be able to stack more in the long term. So you're going to have to. For me specifically, it's like the altcoins are the ones that you're going to have to pay attention to, and it can turn into a full-time job.
It has turned into a full-time job, but we love it. It's something that it's something that we love. All right, that's not for everybody. Most people have a life outside of crypto. We kind of do. But
we try.
Yeah, so for instance, we had about 85 coins, and then it ran up like crazy. And then we sold probably half our coins, the super risky coins, at around like 40 grand. When Bitcoin was about 40 grand when it that first big slam down from 64. So we kind of missed a little bit, but it doesn't matter. We did really well regardless. But we got it to where it was more manageable, because now it's like, all right, we have like really good coins. These coins that we were getting into, that we kept after we had sold, were the coins that have been proving themselves a little more. And those were the coins that I felt a little more comfortable with, because you kind of want to jump in, like I say, like, you spread dust everywhere, during like the bottom of a bear market. Right, and then see what kind of sticks, and see what happens, because you could make 100x on a coin within no time, especially when Bitcoin goes from $3,500 to $64,000 in that span of time. Yeah. So you never know which one's going to hit, and so then you kind of can like trim off the excess fat.
Yeah.
So,
but it's also important to note is, like, if the coin does do 100x. Because obviously that means the team has hopefully also invested or holds those coins. What are they doing with those profits? Are they using it to bolster their ecosystem? And I think that's what we were saying with Solana, is they're just building, and there's so many things being attributed to that ecosystem that's helping to solidify it to hopefully be a long-term hold. It's still risky. We don't know. For sure.
Yeah, and that's why we got into DOT, like at the very beginning, and Solana near the beginning. And, those coins are really good. In my opinion, they haven't been around for very long, but those are some of the risks that we are willing to take because we understand like where this space is headed, and using DOT and using Solana, super fun. And now I'm really excited on ADA, and I think ADA is just taking a break, and I think it's going to continue to all-time highs and beyond. I don't see how it's not going to do that, and I'm really looking forward to doing decentralized finance with it, farming and see when NFTs kind of come out with this, because I do see that as a huge it's going to lift a lot of burden from Ethereum. And so, if you looked at the amount of transactions based on Ethereum, I think there was within 12 months, there was $6.3 trillion in transaction fees, pretty much. Or they did $6.3 trillion in transactions. That's massive. That's a 369% increase from 2020. So imagine when the world catches on to this a little more, because the world seriously is slacking a little bit. It's not there yet, but we're already doing 6.3 trillion on Ethereum. Can you imagine the future with DOT, Cardano, Solana, and they're all taking part of that? Man, it's going to be huge. It's just freaking giant.
But also just getting back to managing a lot of different coins in your portfolio. There's a big difference between investing or being involved in crypto during a bull market and during a bear market. It is freaking hectic right now. A lot of attention, a lot of money. Everyone wants to know what the prices are going to do, what's the next coin that's going to pop. And so it's a much more busy and stressful time to be in crypto, much more profitable time, obviously, but it's even more profitable if you'd prepared during a bear market. So ideally, you should be, like Toby said, sowing your oats, throwing dust on these different altcoins,
really,
seeing what happens, and then, just not necessarily sitting back and seeing what happens, but remembering which coins you bought, remembering the prices that you bought it at and what they're doing, and maybe you see one really taking off, maybe you start to purchase a little bit more with that one and see what happens. But
I'm really good at that because I guess I'm OCD or whatever, but that's not everybody's going to remember every single coin they got.
Especially if you're working with any more, 10 or more, 15, 20, it can be a lot. So you have to take into account how much time you have to dedicate to this, how you're recording what you're investing in. You got to protect your privacy in that way as well. So
I just want to end it if you don't have a lot, stick with the basics. Really, guys, stick with the basics. There's no point of getting into all these crazy coins and NFTs and all that stuff, because if you are involved with, if you have a little bit of Ethereum or a little bit of ADA or a little bit of Solana or DOT, you're taking part of that entire ecosystem. So don't stress on oh man, I missed this NFT. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna, whatever. Just relax. That's all you need to do. Anyways, if you like this, subscribe, hit that bell notification, like this, and check us out on our CT Club. Oh yeah, and Heidi's gonna turn off the phone. Anyways,
bye.